Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to present to you a legend, Miss Julie Andrews.
Hello. Thank you. Hello, Buffalo people. How are you? Good morning, and thank you for the lovely welcome this early in the morning. Now, I too had a very late evening last night. It started out with a lovely dinner on Pearl Street, and even though it was not my 21st birthday, I made my way to the pub to kiss the buffalo. I mean, well, why not? It could have helped. And then I segued on to the sink on the hill, where I think I may have seen some of you this morning. You have such amazing stamina. I mean, truthfully, how good does a Starbucks latte with an extra shot of espresso sound right now, huh? I am very pleased to be here. It's my first visit to Boulder, and it is truly breathtaking. As I was driving in from the airport, I was just looking at the lovely hills, and honestly, I wanted to step out of the car and walk over to a grassy knoll and, you know what, make my signature turn from the sound of music. But I happened to see Ralphie grazing nearby, and he didn't look pleased to see me, so I actually thought better of it. Actually, I think I should be carefully referring to Ralphie. I mean, I should be careful referring to Ralphie as a he, because as I understand it, Ralphie is really a she playing a he, right? Which pleases me no end, I can tell you, because in Victor Victoria, for those of you who have not seen the movie or the musical, I played a character that was a she playing a he who was playing a she. And clearly Ralphie and I can relate. Chancellor Di Stefano, thank you for your lovely introduction. Together with President Bruce Benson, Dean James Williams, our graduation marshal this morning, regents, administrators, educators, and staff of the University of Colorado Boulder, thank you for all that you do. Also, my heartfelt appreciation to the Senior Class Council, its President, Sosi Papazian, and Commencement Chair, Erica Rosbrook, for inviting me here today. Now, there's a lovely graduate among you today by the name of Molly, whom I have known very, very well since she was a little girl. And together with her parents, I have watched her flourish here and become an incredible human being. CU has helped weave the fabric of who she is today and what she will become tomorrow. And knowing her as I do, I believe she probably represents all of you. To those students who are here today without a parent or parents or missing loved ones due to events beyond their control, please know that everyone here is celebrating and honoring you also and your accomplishments. As a community, we all salute you. Bravo. I've been thinking about today and what I could say to you, and it suddenly occurred to me that one of the last speeches you will hear in college will be this one. And now, that scared me half to death. I mean, what can I tell you? I never finished high school. I never, sadly, attended college. As a youngster, I was traveling the length and breadth of the British Isles, singing my head off in the British music halls, a theater brat with a freaky 4.5 octave range. And now you might assume that after a life in the theater and film, I wouldn't be nervous in a situation like this. But I can assure you that I am, or I certainly was before your very warm welcome. Today is about celebration, but despite that, I thought you might just be feeling a little nervous as well, and perhaps even fearful. I mean, you've been safely nestled in these mountains for the past few years. You've had amazing mentors guiding your way through the best possible education, and now you stand on the threshold of the next phase of your lives. Some of you may know what lies ahead of you, and perhaps some of you haven't made a decision yet. Whatever the case, this is the first of many transitions you will likely encounter in your lifetime. Believe me, feeling nervous is just par for the course. I remember once saying to my husband Blake, on the eve of my return to Broadway after a 35-year absence, I said to him, you know, I'm really feeling very frightened about this, and I began to tear up. He smiled, and he simply replied, darling, did you actually expect to feel anything else today? And I remembered all over again that fear is just a part of life. The trick is to recognize it and then press on anyway. The real trick, however, is to stop focusing on yourselves and start focusing on others. There was a time in my, I guess, late 20s when I worried all the time what audiences might think of me. I mean, would they like me? Was I up to par and so on? It suddenly dawned on me, that everyone in the audience had paid good money to come and see a show they really wanted to see. And possibly they were there after a day of dealing with a lot of stress. Maybe it was tax time. Perhaps someone had a family member who was ill, or they'd had a fight with a loved one. I could think of 100 scenarios, and I realized that I was in a position to brighten their day, to make a difference, to give them 3 hours of surcease, of transcendence, and hopefully joy. From that moment on, I began to develop a mindset of giving. I stopped looking inward, I began to grow up, and I started looking outward with an eye to making a difference wherever and whenever I could. So today, I invite you to start looking at life the same way. There are so many opportunities for giving in this world, and I mean, don't just engage in random acts of kindness, though that is just fine, but engage in planned acts of kindness. There are at-risk children who need to be mentored. There are people who go hungry every single day. There are those who are infirm and have no one to look after them. Some have experienced a paralyzing loss. Use your knowledge and your heart to stand up for those who can't stand, speak for those who can't speak, be a beacon of light for those whose lives have become dark, fight the good fight against global warming, be a part of all that is decent, and be an ambassador for the kind of world that you want to live in. Now, it won't always be easy. Whatever you embrace, there will be moments of doubt, moments of darkness, moments of adversity. And when adversity strikes, well, I can offer you a little trick for that as well. Actually, it's not really mine. I used to know the great English author T.H. White. And among other things, he wrote The Once and Future King, 4 novels in one book that encompassed his adaptation of the Arthurian legends. That vast tome became the base of the show Camelot, in which I was fortunate enough to play the role of Queen Guinevere on Broadway. T.H. White's message, Tim's message, is one that I carry with me wherever I go, and I would love to share it with you today. In The Sword in the Stone, which is the first book of this magnificent quartet, Merlin says the following about adversity to the young King Arthur. He says, "The best thing for being sad is to learn something. That is the only thing that never fails. You may grow old and trembling in your anatomies. You may lie awake at night, listening to the disorder of your veins. You may miss your only love. You may see the world about you devastated by evil lunatics, or know your honor trampled in the sewers of baser minds. There's only one thing for it then, to learn. Learn why the world wags and what wags it. That is the only thing which the mind can never exhaust, never alienate, never be tortured by, never fear or distrust, and never dream of regretting." Now, after 4 years of intense learning, this may be the last thing that you want to hear today, but I'm actually talking about becoming a lifelong learner. When adversity hits, go out and learn something. Adversity hit me big time when I lost my ability to sing due to a botched throat operation. It was devastating for me to lose the very thing that has sustained me my entire life. I mean, it was my identity. My daughter Emma and I had just begun writing a children's book together, and I was having a particularly low moment one day. I was bemoaning my fate, and she said, "Mom, you've simply found a new way of using your voice." And honestly, suddenly the weight of sadness fell from my shoulders, and I embraced this new learning experience wholeheartedly. Since then, we've written 30 books together for children of all ages. We've packaged them whenever we can with music and visual delights, and several of them have since been or are currently being developed into projects for theater, filmed entertainment, and the symphony. Adversity paved the way for me to a new career that I actually never dreamed of. Now, that just happens to bring me to the last topic that I'd love to share with you today, the thing I believe will enrich your lives beyond measure forevermore, and that is the arts, and I suspect you know something about that. Some of you will do profound things in the fields of science or medicine, some in the area of law or philosophy or government service, others in the area of technology or engineering. And hopefully some of you will be in the arts, that wonderful sandbox that I've had the joy and opportunity to play in most of my life. But I'm saying that wherever your path takes you, make the arts a meaningful part of your life in some way. Honestly, they are food for the soul. They revitalize us. They transport us, inspire us, shape us, humble us. They connect us worldwide in ways that nothing else can. They are the best common denominator for the proliferation of good in this world, and they are the mirror with which we can view humanity and all its complexities. The esteemed author Catherine Ann Porter wrote this: She said, "The arts live continuously, and they live literally by faith. Their nature and their shapes and their uses survive unchanged in all that matters through times of interruption, diminishment, neglect, and they outlive governments, creeds, and societies, even the very societies and civilizations that produced them. They cannot be destroyed altogether because they represent the substance of faith and the only reality. They are what we find again when the ruins are cleared away." Wonderful words, I think. And these beautiful words don't mean that the arts are invincible. Oh, far from it. As with so many things in our world today, they are vulnerable. And they are often the first thing to go when the budget axe falls. So I implore you to vigorously support and advocate for the arts for the rest of your lives. I'm a very proud board member of the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra, and in that capacity, I'm active in our outreach programs. I challenge you, do the same. Be a consumer of the arts. Attend things you never thought you would ever go to in your wildest imaginations. The ballet, the opera, films, your local philharmonic, musicals, community theater, concerts in the park, museums. Encourage others, and particularly the youth in your communities, to do the same. The gifts and the rewards are really priceless. So those are my thoughts today as you experience this wonderful rite of passage. You all have such bright futures in front of you. You've been blessed to attend this extraordinary institution. You've been given the tools for successes yet to be realized. So take your good fortune and run with it. Use these tools wisely as you embark upon this next chapter of your lives. Keep learning as you go. Acknowledge that there will be fear and adversity, and then go out and kick butt. And make the arts a part of your life. Tell the truth, be present for and compassionate toward others, live lightly on this earth, and give generously. Remember that we are all citizens of this world. There is awesome power in accountability. Leave everything you do, every place you go, everything you touch, a little better for your having been there. And above all, as has been mentioned, keep your integrity. In this way, you will demonstrate you can be trusted, you're ready for stewardship, and the world will respond in kind. So congratulations, dear students. These hills today are truly alive with the graduating class of 2013. Bravo. Bravo. Thank you.